Lord. Oh my God. You wanted a morning show. Good morning. Today we're going to clear the undergrowth under this magnificent oak tree in my backyard. Right? Yeah. I know. Wow. Well, it's got a really cool story behind it and a little inspirational something that I'll pass along. It's kind of my thing. Then we'll harvest some cauliflower. It is bursting from the containers. It is time. I'm working on my second cup. Let's do this. So my house sits in what was a smaller little fenced in area, so it's already rectangular, so we're lucky. We've got some established deciduous trees on one side, all in a row. You know, I'm not necessarily big on that, but it's kind of nice to frame in the backyard. The open grassy spot on the right, where the old chicken pen was, is a little fenced in box off of the yard that is grown in with cedars in a kind of a rectangle shape, and that's where the tree house and the kids play area was developed after we moved the 3-holer outhouse. And then along that side is another straight kind of row, and then we've got this amazing giant white oak tree, the crown jewel of the yard. I mean, and it's at the end, the focal point. Just perfect. It's meant to be. The family I knew that last lived here before us raised 9 kids here, and they had a ginormous garden where we put our house, and of course that's where the best soil is, under our house. So you cross the little pasture that is now our backyard, and was their garden also. And at the end of that little fenced off area, it probably was for their family milk cow. I know they kept one. Well, at the end, just over the fence of that smaller enclosure, they kept their family dump over there, which was a really common practice here in the Ozarks back then. You know, get it far enough away from the house where, you know, it's not in anybody's way. They also, a lot of people had burn barrels and stuff, which we still find pottery and glass fragments from their burn barrel. I mean, all over the place. And there's multiple families because this is an old place. But anyway, so there was quite a sizable dump, lots of glass bottles and stuff that we found. I mean, it was easy to find. It was still, even from the 40s and 50s, big enough that you couldn't miss it. So it was right under that oak. So the oak, like a lot of these trees around the yard, grew up by a fence row where the cows couldn't keep it down. And yeah, so they tossed just over the fence. That's where the oak grew up. And a lot of trees, I'll show you one. If they're in a cow field, which just outside that little pasture, I know they ran cows in the larger field. Other people have since. The branches don't cascade all the way to the ground. And that's what's so unique about this white oak, is that the cows didn't browse the bottom branches and leaves as they grew in. So, you know, most of them, you have to reach up as high as you can reach, and there's the first branch. But that one, because on one side it was against the fence and it was reaching over into a small pasture and family garden area, and on the back side it was piled up underneath where the cows didn't wander around onto the glass bottles and rusted out cans and stuff like that. So it was pretty much left alone to do what it's supposed to do, yet also in an open, sunny area. So that's how it's got these magnificent arching branches that reach down to the ground instead of being way up there. So it's got kind of an open canopy underneath. It was a perfect place for my brother-in-law and sister-in-law's wedding, for a small wedding. Anyway, we strung lights above. It was really cool. Oh, I've got a video from many moons ago somewhere about it. But anyway, I just love it. But I need to clean out underneath because we've got little elm trees and things trying to poke through. It does have, apparently it's a perfect habitat for gooseberries. So I've got a couple of big bushes there that I'm going to continue to encourage, but I want to cut any small trees out from underneath there. And seemingly it's a good place for poison ivy as well, so I want to kind of nip that in the bud as well. I can get the mower under a lot of it, but where the branches get too low, it gets a little risky. So got to go in there and get it by hand. Well, the story of this tree growing into an exceptional beauty is a relatable kind of thing for us, maybe. There are things in our life that's not fair. It's not the way all the others are being treated. We don't have the same advantages or the same healthy start as others, but sometimes that helps to shape us into something extra special and have a greater purpose if we can take that hardship and make it a superpower, which is something I really try to do. Sometimes I'm good at it and sometimes I'm not. Well, let's harvest at least a cauliflower. I know this container is so packed, we need to open up some airspace and some light. So let's do one. I want to at least start with this one in the middle. It's not as big as it could be, but it is the one that's crowding all the others. That's the one they all have in common. I want to take that one out. Maybe the others will have a little more freedom to grow and breathe. Right at the bottom of the stalk here. There's no cutting it out and hoping another will grow, so. Nice! Gorgeous. Oh boy, that's good. There's some space. That worked out well. Well, we did it. It's not perfect, but it's done. Thank you for coming. See you next time. Life's what you make it. Let's get our hands dirty.